The river is quiet this morning. Not silent, never silent, but calm in the way only countryside water can be. Cicadas hum steadily in the background. Dragonflies skim the surface, green and blue flashes darting above the reeds. The air is thick and damp, heavy with the smell of mud, leaves and warm water. Somewhere nearby a dog barks once, then gives up. A man stands at the riverbank holding a fishing line. He is small, bow-legged. His legs bend inward and outward in ways that look almost impossible, like they were shaped by accident rather than design. He isn't wearing anything special, just simple clothes, worn thin by use. There is no crowd here, no cameras, no applause, no one asks for his attention. And yet this man is adored by millions. This is Mané Garrincha, or at least this is who he always is when he escapes the noise. Not a footballer, not a hero, not a legend. Just a man fishing in his hometown of Pau Grande, content to be ignored. Fame never interests him. Money confuses him. Glory passes over his head like clouds he never bothers to look up at. When the world comes calling, Garrincha often doesn't answer. And when it all becomes too loud, too demanding, too heavy, he comes back here, to the river, to the dragonflies, to being nobody. To understand why, we walk back with him, way back. It is 1933 in Pau Grande, a poor working-class district tucked into the hills outside Rio de Janeiro. The roads are dusty, the houses are cramped. Factories loom over the town, filling the air with smoke and routine. Cheap alcohol is always close, passed between hands as easily as conversation. Long afternoons stretch endlessly, and children learn early how to invent their own joy because there is nothing else to do. Manuel Francisco dos Santos is born here on the 28th of October. From the very beginning, he is different. His right leg is shorter than his left. One leg curves inward, the other outward. A doctor examines the baby and shakes his head. He declares the child crippled, a boy who will struggle to walk properly, let alone run. Football, if anyone dares to imagine it, seems impossible. The boy grows up barefoot, his feet hardened by dirt and stone. He chases chickens through narrow yards. He climbs trees and scrambles over fences. He splashes through streams, slipping, falling, getting back up again. He falls often. He laughs even more. His body learns instinctively how to adjust to its own strange shape. He twists, he turns, he compensates. Without realizing it, he is learning balance, deception, rhythm. His father, Amaro, works hard and drinks harder. Bottles of cachaça are never far away. The mood of the house shifts with the level of alcohol. Manuel watches quietly, absorbing it all without understanding it, storing it away for later. Alcohol is simply part of the landscape, like dust on the road or smoke in the air. Manuel is small, much smaller than the other boys. He darts around rather than pushing through. His sister Rosa watches him move through the yard, light on his feet, quick to change direction. He reminds her of a tiny brown bird that flits through the countryside, difficult to catch, impossible to predict. In the local dialect, the bird is called a Garrincha. The name sticks. By the time he's 4 years old, nobody calls him Manuel anymore. He is Garrincha, the little bird, fragile, overlooked, underestimated. Football enters his life quietly, not as a dream, not as ambition, just as play. There are no boots, no goalposts, no coaches shouting instructions. Sometimes there isn't even a proper ball, just a group of boys and something round enough to kick. Garrincha doesn't play to win, he plays to tease, to stop suddenly, to wait, to go past the same boy again and again simply because he can. He dribbles because it feels good, because it makes sense to his body, because the ball seems to understand him. He slows down, inviting the challenge. He feints one way, then the other. Opponents commit too early. They trip over themselves. They laugh even as they are beaten. Efficiency doesn't matter. Results don't matter. Only the moment does. He has no plan to leave Pau Grande. No dream of stadiums or crowds. Football is not a way out. It is not a future. Pau Grande begins to feel small, not because Garrincha wants more, but because the games start to attract attention. Word spreads quietly at first. Someone knows someone who has seen a bow-legged kid humiliate grown men on a dirt pitch. Someone laughs while telling the story. Someone else doesn't quite believe it. Garrincha doesn't notice any of this. He keeps playing the same way. He shows up late. Sometimes he doesn't show up at all. When he does play, he plays for pleasure, not purpose. He dribbles too much. He stops when he should run. He waits when he should pass. He makes defenders look foolish, then smiles as if surprised by the result. Local teams invite him to play. Then better ones do. He joins matches without asking about payment, without asking what it means. Football is still a game. It still belongs to the afternoon. Eventually, someone from Rio hears about him. Botafogo. The name means nothing to Garrincha. He doesn't follow clubs. He doesn't read newspapers. He doesn't imagine careers. When he's invited for a trial, he almost doesn't go. He is already married. He already has responsibilities. A train ride to Rio feels unnecessary, inconvenient, slightly ridiculous, but someone insists, so he goes. The training ground feels wrong immediately. The grass is too neat. The players are too serious. Everyone stretches. Everyone listens. Garrincha doesn't stretch. He doesn't listen very closely either. He smiles. He ties his boots loosely. He waits. The coaches watch politely, expecting very little. Then Garrincha receives the ball. He runs directly at Nilton Santos, a Brazilian international, a respected defender, a man who understands positioning and timing. Garrincha doesn't care who he is. He slows down. He feints once, then again. He slips the ball through Santos's legs and accelerates away. The watching stops. Laughter ripples through the sideline. Then silence. Then disbelief. Garrincha does it again and again, each time slightly different. Each time unnecessary, each time impossible. Nilton Santos turns to the coaches and says what they are already thinking. You have to sign this man. Botafogo does quickly, before anyone else can interfere. Only then do they realise something strange. Garrincha is already an adult, already married, already a father. Football has not rescued him from poverty. It has simply arrived late. He joins the club without ceremony. He does not understand tactics. He does not respect systems. He plays exactly as he always has. Coaches try to correct him. They explain positioning. They talk about teamwork. Garrincha nods politely, then does whatever feels right. Sometimes it works brilliantly, sometimes it doesn't. When it works, it is chaos. Defenders back away, unsure. Crowds lean forward. Something is about to happen, and nobody, including Garrincha, knows what it will be. He waits too long. He goes past one man, then another. He crosses when nobody expects it. He shoots from impossible angles. The Maracana begins to laugh. Not mockingly, joyfully. The laughter of surprise, of disbelief, of pleasure. Garrincha doesn't perform for applause, but the applause comes anyway. It rises around him, whether he wants it or not. He still returns to Pau Grande whenever he can. After matches, after training, after praise, he doesn't quite understand. He goes home. He fishes, he drinks, he sits with friends who do not care who he embarrassed that afternoon. He feels more himself there than anywhere else. Slowly, inevitably, the national team begins to circle. Brazilian football is changing. Systems are tightening. European ideas about discipline and structure are creeping in. Garrincha does not fit any of this. He is unpredictable, he is irresponsible, he is, according to some, uncoachable. And yet defenders cannot stop him. He is overlooked for the 1954 World Cup. It barely registers. He is disappointed only because it means fewer games. When he plays for Botafogo, he continues exactly as before. 20 goals in a season, endless assists, endless humiliation for anyone unlucky enough to face him one-on-one. Eventually, Brazil cannot ignore him. In 1958, Garrincha is selected for the World Cup. He travels without fully understanding what the tournament is. He assumes Brazil will play everyone, maybe twice. He doesn't ask. Coaches worry about him. They fear his instincts. They fear his lack of discipline. They bench him at first, hoping control will win matches. But football does not wait for control. And soon, inevitably, Garrincha is needed. Sweden feels cold. The air is sharp, unfamiliar, biting in a way Garrincha has never known. The stadiums are clean, orderly, quiet before kick-off. Nothing like the noise and colour of Rio. Garrincha doesn't care. He barely notices where he is. Travel, flags, anthems. None of it means much to him. Football is football. A pitch is a pitch. Brazil arrive at the World Cup with expectation and anxiety clinging to them equally. There is talent everywhere in the squad, but also fear. Fear of European organisation, fear of failure, fear of ghosts from the past. Coaches talk endlessly about discipline, shape, control. Garrincha listens. He nods, he waits. Then he is left out. Brazil win their opening matches without him. Narrowly, carefully, safely. The performances convince nobody. The players feel it. The coaches feel it. Something is missing, and everyone knows what it is, even if they are afraid to say it. The Soviet Union waits next. They are strong, structured, physically imposing, favourites for the tournament. Brazil are tense. In the dressing room, the decision is finally made. Garrincha is named in the starting 11. Pelé, barely recovered from injury, starts with him. Nobody knows what will happen. From kick-off, Garrincha takes the ball. Within seconds, he is running straight at the Soviet defence. He does not slow down this time. He goes past one man, then another. A third defender panics. Garrincha shoots. The ball crashes off the post. The stadium gasps. The clock barely moves. The ball comes back to him again. He dribbles once more, cuts inside, creates space for Pelé. Pelé shoots. The crossbar shakes. Brazil attack again. The Soviets retreat, stunned. 3 minutes pass. They are remembered forever. Brazil win the match, but the scoreline barely matters. Something has shifted. The fear drains away, the tension breaks. Garrincha has changed the temperature of the tournament without even trying to. Defenders stop thinking in terms of systems. They begin thinking in terms of survival. As the tournament continues, Garrincha becomes impossible to predict. He waits on the wing, standing still, almost bored, then explodes without warning. He beats full backs repeatedly, sometimes going outside, sometimes inside, sometimes stopping altogether just to invite another mistake. Against Wales in the quarter-final, he toys with his marker. The defender cannot read his body, cannot read his legs, cannot read his intentions. Garrincha is equally comfortable on either foot. He cuts in. He goes wide. He shoots with power. The match is tight, but the danger always feels Brazilian. In the final against Sweden, the hosts score first. The crowd erupts. For a moment, Brazil wobble. Garrincha does not. He takes the ball on the right wing. He runs at his marker. He beats him cleanly and crosses low into the box. Vava scores. Balance returns instantly. Later, Garrincha does it again. Same wing, same movement, same outcome. Another goal. Brazil lead. By now, Sweden are chasing shadows. Brazil win the World Cup, their first. Players celebrate wildly. Trophies are lifted. History is written. Garrincha watches it all with mild confusion. He smiles. He laughs. He asks questions that surprise everyone around him. Who do we play next? Someone explains that there is no next match, that it is over, that Brazil are champions of the world. Garrincha nods slowly, trying to understand. For the world, He is now a star, a phenomenon, a genius. For Garrincha, he is the same man he was before. As Brazil return as heroes, something else quietly arrives with them. Expectation. The crowds grow larger, the praise grows louder, the drinking grows heavier. Garrincha gains weight. He shrugs it off. He always has. Discipline has never interested him. Football is beginning to ask things of him he does not know how to give. But for now, in this moment, he is untouchable. The joy does not last. After 1958, Brazil changes how it looks at Garrincha. What was once surprise becomes expectation. The laughter remains, but it is joined now by demand. People no longer come just to be delighted. They come to be saved. Every time he touches the ball, something is supposed to happen. Garrincha feels this, without ever fully understanding it. He returns to Rio heavier, slower, unchanged in spirit, but altered in body. The drinking increases, training feels optional, discipline feels unnecessary. He has always played best when left alone, and now everyone wants a piece of him. He drifts back to Pau Grande whenever he can. There, the river still smells the same. Friends still speak to him the same way. Nobody asks him to win anything. Nobody explains what he represents. He drinks, fishes, laughs, and forgets. When he leaves again, the weight follows him. By 1962, Brazil arrive at another World Cup, this time as favourites. The pressure is immediate. The expectation is suffocating. Pelé is the symbol now, the future, the one meant to carry the nation forward. Garrincha is older, less controlled, still brilliant, but less predictable in his habits off the pitch. Then Pelé falls. An injury in the early matches removes Brazil's star, and suddenly the spotlight swings violently back to Garrincha. There is no plan for this, no system built around him, just a quiet, unspoken agreement. This is yours now. Garrincha does not panic, he simply plays. Against England, he is everywhere. He scores, he shoots, he bends the ball in ways defenders cannot anticipate. One goal curves unnaturally into the corner. Another follows from chaos he himself creates. England equalise. It does not matter. Garrincha keeps going. Brazil move on. Against Chile, the hosts, the atmosphere is hostile and feverish. Garrincha seems unaffected. He scores twice. A long shot, a header. In the final, Garrincha plays sick, feverish, weakened. His legs ache. His body is failing him in ways it never has before. But he is still Garrincha. He still draws defenders. He still creates space. Brazil win again. 2 World Cups, one with Pelé beside him, one carried alone. He is named Player of the Tournament. Golden Ball, Golden Boot, Champion. The first to do all 3 at once. Words pile up around him. Praise grows mythic. Comparisons stretch toward the impossible. Garrincha barely hears any of it. What he feels instead is exhaustion. His body hurts more often now. His knee swells. His drinking worsens. The joy that once felt light now feels heavy, like something he must deliver on demand. Brazil loves him more than ever, and that love begins to crush him. After 1962, the decline is subtle at first, a step slower, a knee that never quite recovers, matches missed, arguments ignored. He moves clubs, he moves cities. None of it feels like home. The game becomes harsher. Defenders kick him deliberately now. They no longer laugh when they are beaten. They foul to stop the joy. Garrincha absorbs the punishment quietly, numbing it with alcohol later. By 1966, he is no longer the future. He is a memory still walking. He plays one last World Cup, injured and diminished, yet still capable of moments that remind everyone who he is. He scores, Pelé scores. For once they score in the same match, it changes nothing. Brazil lose. Garrincha leaves the national team for the last time. There is no announcement, no ceremony, just absence. The joy that once lifted a nation is still there, somewhere inside him. But now it comes with pain, with regret, with a body that no longer listens. The noise fades faster than Garrincha ever expects. One day he is recognised everywhere. The next, he is remembered instead. Football moves on the way it always does, efficiently, without guilt. New heroes arrive, new idols take his place. Garrincha does not resent them. Resentment requires planning. He lives only in the present moment, and the present is getting harder. His body breaks down completely. The knee never heals. The legs that once confused the world now simply ache. He plays small matches for small crowds. Sometimes he doesn't finish games. Sometimes he doesn't show up at all. When he does, people still cheer, but it is a gentler sound now. Garrincha does not understand the contracts, savings or futures. He gives generously, he trusts blindly, he spends freely. When there is nothing left, he shrugs. Things have always worked out before. Why wouldn't they again? Alcohol becomes constant. Not celebration anymore, anesthesia. A way to quiet the pain in his legs, the noise in his head, the expectations that never quite leave him. Friends come and go, wives come and go, children arrive into a life he cannot organise or protect. Only Pau Grande remains steady. He returns whenever he can, to the river, to the reeds, to the place where nobody asks him to be Garrincha the legend. Here he is just Manuel again, fishing, joking, drinking with old friends who never needed him to be anything else. The bird is back where it learned to fly. But even Pau Grande cannot stop time. By the late 1970s, his health collapses. Liver damage, infections, weakness. His body, which once bent itself into miracles, begins to fail in ordinary ways. Hospitals replace stadiums. Silence replaces applause. When Garrincha dies on the 20th of January 1983, he is just 49 years old. Brazil stops, not officially, not formally, but emotionally, instinctively. News spreads quickly, then settles heavily. The little bird is gone. The funeral is enormous. Thousands line the streets. Old men cry openly. Young boys who never saw him play carry his name anyway. His coffin is draped in the Brazilian flag, not as decoration, but as acknowledgement. He gave the country something rare, joy without calculation. No speeches explain him properly. Because how do you explain Garrincha? You cannot talk about discipline, professionalism, or legacy. You talk instead about laughter, about defenders falling over, about a man who could beat you 5 times and still go again, just to make you smile. You talk about a boy who was told he would never run and made the world chase him.
No batuque do peito, meu coração chama. Sol de janeiro, queima minha alma. Saia rodando, pé no chão quente. Isso soltou, corpo presente. Na esquina tem sonho, tem dor, tem prazer. A lua me ouve, sem eu dizer. Eu canto pra vida, que vem que vai. No passo do povo, no som do cais. Oh meu bem, vem, deixa o tempo levar.